Beautiful Tuesday morning. It's supposed to be lovely today. Today's all about perspective. Putting everything into perspective after all these weeks of work. See you at the office. So one of the first things I like to put in perspective after a crazy amount of time is how I feel physically. You know, like I said a few months ago, usually when I start biking in every day and then work gets crazy, my morning workouts go by the wayside. But I've been biking in every day, so I'm putting in, 10, 12 miles a day, 50, 60, 70 miles a week, but that's only biking and it's not super challenging. So I need to start getting my physical body back into shape. Today I did some morning yoga. I'm going to start my morning workouts again, hopefully. I also added a few miles, went around Prospect Park instead of just going bypassing it, and I went over to the West Side Highway where I am now, getting my physical body back into a better state of just health, because I've just been sitting around for the last 2 months working. The next piece of the puzzle of this perspective is my financial picture. I always tend to look at, especially after you're busy for a while, to where bills and invoicing can go by the wayside, and you need to double check, make sure all your tax issues and bills and long-term investments and all those things are in line. So I always take a quick snapshot and once over all my financial perspective to see where things are, if I'm on track for where I want to be, if the studio's on track compared to last year, what our projections were for this year, or our projections are for the next year. Just kind of taking a mental picture and laying everything out so I get a very clear understanding of what my financial situation is currently and will be because of all the stuff that I've built over the last 2 months. The other thing that I am looking at and putting in perspective today and over the next few weeks is my social media plan. You always have this kind of grandiose plan that I'm going to have this many posts go out this many days and this many tweets every day, and I'm going to reply and talk to and communicate and with over all the different social medias, Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, YouTube, all those things. So I've been really good at keeping to my YouTube plan of creating one of these videos daily for the last, since May I believe is when I started going daily, and I've been pretty adamant about keeping to these, and that helps feed my Twitter feed and my Facebook feed and my Instagram feed and obviously my YouTube feed and the other social networks that I post it to. But then there's the Q Studio side, there's the studio side for retouching wise that I need to put together a really concise plan. I spoke about it a few times over the last few weeks that I really want to get into it with Hootsuite, and I really want to schedule out a bunch of weeks of Instagram posts. So that's definitely one of the things that I'm assessing in this downtime. You have to make this downtime work for you, and it is August. So August is usually the slow month for everyone. People taking holiday, Europe is pretty much gone, and a lot of people take vacations at the end of August or in the beginning of August. People go back to school and stuff like that. So August is the perfect time to assess all these things, make your plans, kind of set everything in motion. If I can plan out August and September, and kind of once you get into that rhythm, just like with these vlogs, once you get into that rhythm, then it's easy to keep going. It's that initial stage, it's that initial step that takes and requires more setup time. So That's another one of these things that I'm thinking about for today, putting perspective on my social media plans. One of the other things that I've been assessing is my mental state on how my mind and how my social, having interactions with friends, and just the mental state of being so busy for so long. It really kind of drains me mentally and puts me in a place where I feel anxious that I don't have any work. Even though I was so busy for so long, you kind of get used to that pattern of always working. And when I don't have work, as a solo entrepreneur, you always feel like, all right, that's it, no more. You're never gonna have another job again. But I know there's more work coming. I know that it's just around the corner and I need to not fret about it, but it's also the time to get everything in a row and take this time off in this slow period to, progress on a number of plans that I've had. Since the beginning of this vlog, I've wanted to do other things. That's what quantum variant's about, but can't neglect what makes me money. I went out to get some bubble tea. And that's also why I want to meet up with some friends of mine, other creatives, other artists that do similar things but in different formats, and see if we can come up with a plan, reverse engineer some type of concept that we can do something together as a collaborative team. Maybe not for money, but maybe just for creative sake. There's a lot of ideas that we've always had to work together, but it's difficult to get a bunch of people to work on a project for free to see what comes out of it. Everybody wants to make money, I understand that, but sometimes you have to take the risk of building something or figuring out where there's a market. I don't know what we'll come up with, but I know it'll be fun to have the meetings. It's also just good to have other people to bounce ideas off of. Just to come up with another idea that maybe a project I can do once a month. You see, part of the issue with working so hard is just that your mental state just gets so focused on work. And I need to allow myself to relax. My wife tells me all the time, you just can't relax. I can't. Which isn't such a bad thing because I'm constantly working on things. The vlog I'm editing when I get home and tweaking it over the weekend and doing stuff like that, and always shooting. So I always need an outlet. Sometimes those outlets need to be outside of what I can do alone. And sometimes I just need an outlet just to go off and take a long bike ride without filming it or without posting about it, or just to go see some friends, have some drinks and some laughs. I have a hard time relaxing. It's very true. But next week I'm going to San Fran anyway, so with my older son, and we're gonna kind of tag team the town and then hit LA for a day or two to look at some colleges. So that should be chaotic, but relaxing, because I think he's gonna take some time. He's old enough to kind of explore the city a little bit on his own, and I might explore the city a little bit on my own. So I don't know, it's really hard to relax when you've been so busy, but it's just the nature of the life I lead. I like being busy. I like doing stuff. I finished the bubble tea. It's a Tuesday night, and my bike has a flat, so I'm gonna take an Uber home so I can get my bag and stuff home. I don't want to take the train. I'm gonna have to bring in a spare tire tomorrow. That sucks. Alright, I'll see you tomorrow. Have a good night.